right. Hello, good people. Welcome to the Raising the 5% podcast, YouTube. If you listen to us on Apple, Spotify, wherever you listen to us at. I'm Maydrian Lowe, one of the hosts of the podcast and the co-founder of Raising the 5%.
I'm Maia Young. I'm also the other founder and other host of the podcast.
Be sure to like, subscribe, share, comment. And if you have anything that you want us to talk about as specific on this podcast, feel free to reach out to us at raisingthe5%@gmail.com. And this is our intro episode. So what's up? And just, hey, everybody. Hey, Maia.
Hey. How we doing?
How y'all doing?
Hey.
Maya keeps me very unserious. I'm typically a very serious person. Maya is very unserious.
So. Everything's funny. So
we're gonna have a good time, and we've been in the process of making this podcast like a serious thing, a regular thing, probably for about 5 years. You know, but
years,
you know, we're here now. We're here now. That's all that matters.
Still here.
Still here. Yeah. Now we got two. We used to just have Tisha, but now they done brought Dorinda back.
I love her.
I'm still here.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay.
We're gonna have a good
back
time.
to normal. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
That's out the way. Yeah.
Anyway, we did want to do this episode. I mean, in this show in general, just a bit different from the past. Like we've tried to do podcasts in the past, and it's been more of like the traditional format and like the back and forth. So we want to explain to y'all how we plan on running this one and how we just plan on incorporating Raising the 5% as a resource in general, and how we plan to do this, like these episodes, stuff like that. You want to jump in and explain a little bit, Mai?
Yeah. So for us, we wanted to create Raising the 5% because we were starting law school at the time. We've always been interested in pre-law and even joining the legal field. And so when we had the resources and honestly the knowledge to create the resource, it seemed like a no-brainer. But like May said, like we want this podcast to be very conversational, but also very real. Like we wanted to feel as though, because there's a lot of sometimes exclusion within the legal field and a lot of information that can be very overwhelming, we want to just make it very plain, but as I said, very real, so that everyone kind of knows how it's going to be. And also like with conversation, if y'all want to hear something, like May said, like tell us so that we can actually talk about it and y'all don't feel as though you're kind of searching around for points when we can just make them readily available to you. So that's our goal with the resource and the podcast. We kind of want them to all work in tandem. So that's very exciting. We're excited to let it happen.
And I think too, to that point, I will say, because I kind of like in making content on TikTok, I think sometimes people expect you to have answers for everything all the time. We are not claiming to have all the answers.
Never.
We're not claiming that by
never.
This stuff is changing on a regular basis. You know what I mean? I think it's really just based on, there are certain things in the profession that are standard. Like there are certain things that just don't change, right? Like I guess the experience Black students are going to have, that's going to be consistent pretty much for the most part. Unfortunately, even a part of the name, Raising the 5%, there's never been more than 5% of Black attorneys in the profession. You know what I mean? Our hope is to change that by giving people more resources and make people feel like it's more accessible. But we don't want to hold it out to seem like we have all the answers. You know what I mean? We just two people who said we were going to law school and actually made it happen and graduated. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so, and as a consequence of that, we'll talk a little bit about that later, about how, as we explain why we created this resource in general and why we wanted to do this, because people just ask questions and think we're like pseudo pre-law advisors because we graduated from law school. It's like,
no, baby, no.
We're going to bring the folks to y'all that are
degree,
pre-law advisors. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So, but I guess we can jump into a bit about how we became friends, how we got to know each other, and then we can go and talk a bit more about why we created Raising the 5% and our law school experience and stuff like that. Maia and I went to, I don't know if y'all can see it or not, but this picture right here is on my wall. It's from where Maia and I met at Prairie View University. Miss Sister Soldier, aka Freedom Marcher.
You know.
Maia and I organized a couple of protests together. Maia organized more than I did. I think I did 2. She did. What you did?
No,
4?
you was there.
You know, that last one, I was more of like a participant than an organizer.
But
you know what I mean?
Advisory.
You know, I was on the council.
Definitely.
I was on the council.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
But
It's okay. You know,
But
though, like we actually met before, way before then. I met you freshman year.
you did. You did.
Yeah.
Because I lived in
I
43. Then you live in like 42?
44.
Okay, yeah.
Uh-oh.
44. I knew it was one of them.
Yeah.
We was in
Well, yeah,
between,
they in that.
Well, they were
Yeah.
neighbors. Yeah.
Yeah, they
So I
close. Yeah,
remember
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
because you were friends with Sam then.
Yeah.
Was Sam in Panther Pride? Yes.
I don't know. I didn't go to Panther Pride.
I know, but I think Sam did.
I think she was, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, at that rate, I don't remember. We weren't necessarily friends. I think then. No, we knew each
No,
other.
like mutual. I
Yeah.
met you when we were doing the campaign. We were on the same campaign team.
For who? 'Cause, we was on so many damn campaigns.
Miss for Miss Freshman.
Oh, for Homie. Homie Roof
Yes.
the Truth. Oh.
Yes. That's when I first
And
met you. I didn't know nothing about you.
Yeah.
That's when I first met you.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's when I first met you.
So that's
But I don't think we became friends for real till like I
that,
wouldn't say soft. We both graduated. We both did 3. So I think our sophomore year.
Yeah,
Maybe.
our soft
Yeah.
junior year because we both had
Soft
like,
junior.
yeah.
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 So
The year I crossed, I think that's when
Yeah.
we became friends.
yeah.
But yeah, because that's when we were in our discipline pretty much full time. Like
Yeah.
we both were poli-sci majors, so that makes sense.
Same classes.
Exact same. Damn, they had the
Doing
same
stuff
schedule
for
at one
Beto.
point. Yeah.
We were all we always saw each other. So I think at that
Yes.
point it was like, okay, hey,
Yeah.
what's up?
You know what? You know what it
How are
really
you?
was? You know what it really was? It was that damn constitutional law class. That's what it was because we started doing them case briefs together. And you and Jayla lived in the square, and we used to be in y'all study room all the time. That's when we became
Yes.
friends,
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
I don't need. Yeah, that's I remember that. And also, what class is that? It was either Mitchell's class or the intro class that we all sat literally in the same 2 rows.
I think it was. I think it was scoping the methods.
Yes,
Scopes
I
and
remember
methods.
that.
Scopes and methods. Yeah.
And so we just I think the more you spend time in like the same classes, literally, because when you're in the poli-sci department, it's not like you have 1 or 2 classes. Every single class, it's a very small department. So I think by the time we kept seeing each other and was in the same classes, it was like, oh, I'm trying to remember how many students were actually in the poli-sci department in our class. I think maybe like 20 people, if that, graduated. It's a very small department. And so you get to know everyone. Everyone's also trying to like either go to law school or become like politically active. So you start having the same hobbies, same extracurriculars. And then it's just like, okay, well, I'm seeing you all the time. So who are you? How
Literally,
are you?
at this point.
Hey, what happened to hello?
What happened to hello? How are you?
My name
name
is.
is.
And so that's like how it happened. And then from then it's just been we've been here, so
been locked in. And then too, like you said, the Beto campaign happened, and after that, it's like at this point we just gonna be locked in. And so PSP,
which is crazy because that was 7 years ago.
It was 2018. That's crazy.
It's crazy.
Time is flying. Damn.
Yeah, that was crazy. Like that was 7 years ago.
PVL.
Well.
PV elders. Now we owe PV now.
Oh my gosh.
Then the group of us that have formed PSP, which we called ourselves Political Science Posse, which was so corny in retrospect. But
I have to give PSP. I have to give past us our props. Like,
we was running shit. We was running shit.
We talking no budget.
No,
okay?
Literally.
No
budget. No constitution. No charter,
bylaws.
no nothing.
No leadership.
Man.
Who's running
a logo and a mission. That's all we had.
That's it. And let me tell y'all, with that logo and that mission, we did a lot, okay?
We did a lot.
We did the marches. We had congressional candidates come and speak to y'all. No money.
No money.
Just that's pure love of the game. You understand?
For real.
The way that I was locked in when I was at the PSP.
You would have thought somebody was paying us. You would have thought somebody was paying us for real. No cap.
I'm trying to get back to that. I was doing that for free. No, still had classes.
Yeah. I haven't had that much motivation to do something since.
No, since. There is no way. When I tell y'all we took it so seriously, we would have midday lunches at that bistro.
Shout out to the Jasmine
next
pasta.
move,
Man.
y'all wasn't. Oh no.
Yeah,
Y'all don't understand.
many a pita chip was broken over that.
Listen,
Come on now.
I'm getting that Miss J's pasta and a strawberry lemonade
Every
every time.
time. Every
Every time.
time.
Every time.
Yeah.
And it was the bistro. It looks new now. I don't know if you've seen. They added a lot of new stuff. So
I haven't seen it. I was thinking
but
about, I'm debating if I'm coming home from homecoming or not, but it's for
you
both of,
should.
I know, I know. I may come for just Saturday, like just Saturday, not like the
Mhm.
whole thing. Because Forbosa's having ALR that weekend. They want me to speak at Friday.
Oh,
We getting beside the point. But
yeah.
anyway,
Homecoming. So I'll
yeah,
see you there. Okay.
homecoming. All right, more than
Right.
likely.
Right.
Um,
Okay.
and so we do that, and then so now realistically, I think of the seven of us in PSP. It was seven, right? That
Hmm.
sounds right.
Yeah.
The seven of us in PSP, all of us that said we were going to be lawyers are either lawyers or in law school.
Which is great.
Yeah.
That's great odds. In the
Yeah.
past 7 years, especially when you think about like at that time we were still students. Like
Hmm.
none of us had graduated when we started PSP. And now like between 7 years, people have either like completed both their bachelor's
Hmm.
and their JD, or they've completed their bachelor's and maybe another degree, and then they're in their JD. Like that is very impressive. And to
Yeah.
come from PV, I mean, PV is like a diamond in the rough, obviously, but
Yeah.
10 out of 10. The fact that that happened all in the same class, we all graduated within like a year or two of each other, and we're
Hmm.
all literally, like May said, we wanted to be lawyers and we are in law school or we have graduated. Amazing odds. Like, I'm so proud of us.
Yep. And I think shit, everybody that has at least a, well, 6 or 7 got at least 2 degrees when I think about it for real. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what's
Look
up.
at us. We
Yeah.
smart. Yes.
And so,
Yes. That's
but
Wolf education right there.
Maya and I was the first of the second because Kirsten went to law school first, and then next
Yes.
Maya and I went to law school. So Kirsten was in law school; she was a class ahead of us, and
Yeah.
then Maya and I went. Well, we went. Our first year of law school was fall 21.
Yeah.
And so I think that was we both graduated in 2020.
2020.
Yeah, and so we took a year off, and went to law school.
Literally follow the same. That's what's crazy. We both graduated in 3, both took a gap year. Even during the gap year, we were doing some of the same stuff. Like he was with PDP.
Oh, that's right,
I was
because you were working. You worked at congressional. I forgot
Yes.
about that.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Literally like
Yeah.
back to back.
And I think
Yeah.
too another reason that it's been so easy for us to stay connected is because a lot of the opportunities that like I think didn't I send you that job before the one?
You did.
Yeah. Like
You did.
I sent her that job. The scholarship I got to go to law school, she sent me. You know what I mean? Like a
Yeah.
scholarship that she
It's
got
always
for
been
law
very
school.
Mhm.
You know, and you need people like you need friends like that can pour into you and give you shit to make sure that you're successful, but also to celebrate your wins. And so, like we've always had that relationship, and I think it really got even closer through law school because like we went to law school thousands of miles apart, but
Yeah.
it was still like very very similar situations because now we're one of less than 20 black people at this school that is like a complete culture shock from Prairie View. Like a
Very
whole
different.
360. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She up there in the snow. I'm down there in the dust. You know what I mean? It was just like
Oh my gosh. Never even been to Vermont before. Never heard of Vermont. I'm up there. They looking at me. How you get here?
you ain't from around here, huh? No, I'm
where the
not.
money at. I don't,
Yeah.
you know. I won't be here long. No, don't worry.
Don't you worry about it. Don't
Give me
worry
3
about
years.
it. Yeah.
I'm gone. I'm out your hair. I'm out your hair. But you was in Lubbock. Like we were. That's why I said PV is a very special place. Like, especially because we're both, well, I'm from Houston, but May was living in Texas. It's like when you live in Texas for so long and then you go to a school, I think PV is both very black and very Texan specifically. Like a lot of the history that PV even like talks about, it's specifically black Texas history. And so then to be educated about that and then being in the poli-sci department and we talking about black people and black people in Texas and black people in the US, like it's a very, I don't know, it's a very special place. So then to go somewhere, we're like, oh babe, they're not talking about none of that. And you're late. Like you actually need to catch up. We've been waiting for you. You should have been started this like 4 years ago. And it's like, oh, okay, it's different. It makes you have a deeper connection, I think, to like PV and the relationships you made at that place because it's not going to ever be matched. There's
Mm-hmm.
literally no duplicates. Like PV is all what it is on its own, and I love that because we got to experience it.
Yep. And even our producer for this show, and she also was at Texas Tech at the same time as me. Her and I were
Mm-hmm.
cool, like same situation, mutuals at Prairie View, cool.
Mm-hmm.
And she was closer to Maia, but then we got to
Mm-hmm.
Texas Tech, and it was just like she was the only black person in her program, Kayla.
Yeah.
And we were like, yeah, no, we're gonna be best friends now, like because this is different. You know what I mean? And it was like an instant connection. Automatically know who you are based on the fact we went to PV together. And I can trust the type of person you are based on like what I've seen. Also, I know where you come from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Especially during senior year, well, our senior year too. We got a lot closer with so many more PV people
mm-hmm.
like than we ever had. Because we all made the plan of like, okay, we're gonna start studying for the LSAT together. Even one of our professors, Dr. Hostin, like he took it upon himself to become our LSAT instructor, and he was
Mm-hmm.
strict, y'all.
Was
Like
strict.
he was strict. He was giving us homework, baby.
He ran
This
a tight
is
ship. He did not play.
volunteer. I thought you was doing this out the kindness of your heart. No, you need to come prepared.
Yeah.
Like when I tell you he was asking questions, he had a whiteboard. He printed
Mm-hmm.
out stuff from his own printer. Like he was very serious. But that was our senior year, and we needed that because then we started to become more bonded with people in the class, even like taking it on our own to study. Now sometimes we did study. Sometimes, we just connected. We fellowshipped as
We
people.
fellowship. You know.
Yeah, I think but either way, like, even now, still 7 years later, like, we know exactly still how everyone is, like, what everyone's
Mm-hmm.
doing. So I think that's really cool, too, that even though you go far away, like, the connections that you make are still going to remain because, I don't know, it's just, I don't know. So I said PV is a very special place. And we all went to the conference together, too. That was our
Mm-hmm.
senior year, no? Yeah, so it was just a lot of different things.
Yeah, the National Black Law Pre-Law Student Conference. Well,
In Columbia
yeah,
that year.
whichever one she had that year. Yeah, shout out to PV, shout out to PSP, and now we're here with raising the 5%. And as a consequence, I think really of like the experiences that we had too, because we did have some people like Dr. Hassan, but Dr. Hassan also, like Maya said, came during our senior year. But the development of pre-law students at HBCUs in general is just, at least at ours, was not something that was really, I think, thought about or well planned. Like I feel like I know Dillard has like a really solid pre-law track,
Yeah.
and like they get students into law schools, but for the most part, there isn't a consensus at HBCUs about, especially schools like ours that has like a large, robust criminal justice program, political science program, these feeder degrees that kind of lead people into law school. There isn't an accompanying pre-law program that's developing students to do well on the LSAT, that's developing students to have really good holistic applications and to write good diversity. Well, you can't write diversity statements anymore, but write good personal statements and write good, statements to get into law schools. And so what I think ended up happening, I know for me, I'm sure Maya has the same experience, is that you get a bunch of just like a flood of requests from people who see that you went to PV or you went to Texas Tech, and I want to go to Texas Tech for law school or Vermont for law school. And now there's all these questions about, oh, how do I get here? What else I need to have? What do I need to do? Like, what should this look like? How was your experience? And so I feel like oftentimes as Black pre-law students or even as Black attorneys, when we try to get back in this position and give back, we're recreating the wheel over and over and over again, because we're trying to give the same information out that people maybe had posted one YouTube video about 10 years ago. But now it's like there's nobody else talking about this stuff. There's nobody to give to really fill that information gap about experiences and connecting like Black students who don't have the means to go to pre-law conferences or the means to go to LSAT summits, you know what I mean, who just can only get information from their computers about like real experiences. And so I think what we're trying to do now is to provide as much opportunity, information, and access to as many Black pre-law students as we possibly can. And that looks like this podcast. It looks like the resource that our social media pages. We're on TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn. I think that's it for right now.
Right now, yeah.
Yeah, but we're on those spaces and we're highlighting opportunities that come about that we find. But we're also in the works and planning to create like resources in general. Like I'm creating like a declassified Law School Survival Guide, which is just like everything that I ever thought, everything I wish I knew before I got into law school, because there's so much stuff that you just don't know. If you're like, I'm the first lawyer in my family, so that's just so much shit I just didn't know about. You know what I mean? And I feel like you probably feel the same way. Like there are many things that you just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like how expensive school is when you get there.
On the go. Oh my God. First of all, I wish somebody would have told me. You tell it, like, especially because exactly how you say, like, I feel the exact same way. I think PV, especially with it, like, there not being a pre-law program already in the works. Like, I think because we were, like you said, in political science, I was kind of the feeder major to go to law school. But, like, I added a minor, legal studies, and, like, to be fair, same classes or, like, same professors as my political science classes. It was just more of a focus of like maybe all the speech or like how to be a good orator or like how to be a good writer, but ultimately like other classes or other things that I could have learned in the poli-sci department. And so I think when you don't have a pre-law program, you do find out a lot of things that you never would have known, like that it costs to take the LSAT, that it costs to send your score, that it costs to apply to schools if you don't have a fee waiver, that, like you said, it costs to
thousands of dollars.
Thousands of dollars that they expect you to have.
Yeah.
Ain't no pay later. Ain't no Klarna. You gotta, I need that. I need that now.
Now.
You want it, and they like, you want to go to law school, right? Pay. And it's like, okay, but I can't afford it.
Too bad.
Try next year. I don't know. We don't understand that. Sorry. Because then when you get to school, then school costs that much more, and that's not even including your books, where you living at. What are you gonna eat? Air?
Right.
Them books. It's like everything costs so much, and sometimes I wish that people would have been more straightforward about it. But then it's like the very reason why we created this resource. There's not a lot of people, especially Black people, that are in the legal field. And so even when we are sitting here now, both law graduates, it's like realizing kind of like the weight of being an anomaly. Like it can seem very normal when you graduate law school that you know lawyers. But like both of us, we're the first lawyers in our family, you know? Like I didn't know anything about what it meant to even be a lawyer. I genuinely didn't know that a law degree was a JD. I didn't even know the acronym for that. I found that out when I applied to that program. And they said, are you here for the JD or what? I don't know, girl. Law? Question mark? Like, I don't really know what that means.
Whichever one is a law degree. That's the one I want.
Whichever one. I don't know. You asking me a lot of questions. I really know nothing. I just got here. I just graduated. And so it's like, once you find stuff out, you kind of feel, I don't know, you kind of feel obligated, but not in a negative way. But like you just want to share it because you realize, man, like, I'm figuring this out and I'm about to start law school or I'm in law school. I know people that are about to start or that haven't started that probably don't know this at all. So why wouldn't I share it? You know, sort of thing. So I wish somebody would have told me how expensive law school was. I probably would have. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey.
You know. And I got a full ride, so I should preface by saying, I didn't pay for my education itself, but yet and still, I was in school. Like the cost of just being there, like you need suits. You want, God forbid, you want to do a competition, you got to pay for that. You got to pay. You want to travel for a conference. A lot of times, if it's a diversity conference or a Black conference, the school's not paying for it. You know what I mean?
We don't do that here.
Literally, like what? They're not paying for it. You know what I mean? Or if you need to go home for Thanksgiving or for a funeral, that's out of pocket. I think too, people don't ever talk about the fact that life doesn't stop while you're in law school. Like it does not stop.
It actually only ramps up. I think they have I think they talk it like you're about
they send a little memo to God.
Very hard. Let's make it harder. It's like, okay.
They like, God, we know we finna stress them out. Put them on your strong soldier list too. You know what I mean?
Just and actually, once you do that, put them on that list. Put them on the front line. No gear. No gear.
No gear. No helmet. No weapon. Just send them out there.
And I'm just there. You just there. What's happening next? You'll see, baby. Don't even worry. You gonna find out real soon. And you do. It's especially because like the first year of law school, at least for me, like, oh, you talking.
I'm talking about in it.
I said, whoa.
Yeah.
I said, everybody, let's take a breather. Let's just get to know each other.
Everybody calm down. Everybody calm down. Everybody calm down.
And then you start to realize, like, okay, it never stops. You get through that first semester, you're like, okay, woo, I did that. You got about a month to recover.
Yep.
And we need you back, and we actually need you better. Because you need to see how to, because you don't even get your grades. That's the worst thing about law school. I hate it. You don't get your grades right away.
There is no grade.
You gotta wait that out. No. You need to enjoy your Christmas and your New Year's like it's the last one you're ever gonna enjoy. Because once them holidays is over, now you know. Do you get to come back or do you not?
Yeah.
Let's find out next year. That's really not our. We really
find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Literally. And so, but it's important to like talk about these things because a lot of people don't know. Like, I didn't know that you could get academically dismissed from law school. You know, I didn't know that people could be on academic probation in law school. There are a lot of myths, I think, about how law school is. And there's television shows and there's movies about being a lawyer. Legally Blonde, okay, yes, L girl.
Yeah.
Still don't understand how you got a 178 without, you know, I'm not even dumb. You know, okay. You and Bruiser, you think you got to Harvard and weren't, okay. But it's not that simple. Like, you get there. And sometimes, depending on your professor, you might need to know everything, or you might have a little time to, you know, get used to it. But things move very fast. It's a very hard learning curve. Like, it was very different than me getting my bachelor's. So it's like, it's school. And it's a 3-year program, but law school is hard. And sometimes telling people that also demystifies like the impossibility of it. Like, just because it's impossible, you can still go to the conference if you're able, or you can still ask people about it, or you can still wonder, okay, well, how much does this cost? There are fees, there are waivers, there are admissions counselors that are willing to do it. But also it's like, on the flip side, baby, keeping it real, they don't want you there. So, I mean, now what we talking about? Are we still going to try to do it in the midst of it? But it's not impossible. But it takes people who have gone through it, who can recognize that reality, to say that.
That is literally my favorite thing to say to people. I say all the time, law school is hard, but it's not impossible.
It's not impossible.
Like, I love that you phrase it that way. Cool. Like, because it's really just that simple. Like, law school is hard. It is objectively a hard thing. It is probably because, especially that first year. That first year, I think, coming from Prairie View, where I was told like I was this excellent writer, I won the president's oratory contest and essay contest, and then got to law school, and my legal professor was like, "You suck. You don't know how to do citations. Your grammar's bad. Like, this is terrible." And I'm like, whoa, you know what I mean? It is like,
because they actually told me I was the best, so I'm now
I'm on the shit list. Like, what's going on? You know what I mean?
I'm confused.
And so
y'all don't use ain't here. Okay, my bad. I thought that was, I thought that's what we did. Okay.
You know, and I think too, another little point that we can go into more detail about in later episodes is the distinction between just like the different types of like academic experiences in general law school. Like, we all learn the same law, but the grading is different. Like, some law schools don't have grades. You know what I mean? Top law schools don't have grades at all. My law school, we didn't have midterms or anything like that. Like, the only grade that we got was the final. You know what I mean? And that was it. I know some people have midterms and they have like other types of courses. Some people have
quizzes,
everything. Yeah. Some folks have courses that are split into like over a year. Like, some folks Civ Pro class is a whole year. My Civ Pro class was 1 semester. You know what I mean?
I had 1 and 2. Yeah.
And so we can talk more about that too. But there's just so much that you just don't know about law school. And we'll have, of course, have other people, because our perspectives are based on our real lives. You know what I mean? Maia and I didn't go to a T14 law school or an Ivy League law school. So we have to bring folks in who have that experience and that are also Black that can talk to y'all about that. But we plan to do just that. So for the show, whenever we interview folks, we have these 3 subsets of questions that we're calling the 3 Ps. And so our first P is pursuing the JD. So these are questions related to like why you were actually in law school. You're an admitted student. This is why you're on the job, full-time law student. The second set of questions are related to the practice of law. So these are questions related to being an attorney, studying for the bar. I guess that can kind of fit either with pursuing or with practice. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or just like work-life balance and stuff like that in general. And then the last one is pre-law, of course, because that's probably going to be the bulk of the questions we get, especially from you all. If you all have questions concerning pre-law things, so this is anything before law school, like anything. Like, if you're someone who's way on the outset of getting ready to start your journey into law school and you haven't even like looked at an LSAT practice test yet, all the way up to you submitted applications to schools. All those questions are valid. And those questions will fit in. And we're really going to lean on you all to really give us more insight to what you want to hear from us, who you want to hear from. You know what I mean? Like, because we only have so much information, but also who do you want us to reach out to get information to you about as it relates to like pre-law matters? Like, do you want to hear from deans? Do you want to hear from like Black students at other schools? Whose perspective is important to you as a pre-law student today? Let us know that in the comments. Email us, write us on YouTube. However you got to get in touch with us to get us the information, let us know.
Let us know.
But we'll jump right in it. You want to take the first question, or you want me to throw the first one at you?
I'll take the first one.
Nope.
Because we, as May said, we were having different experiences. So May has been practicing for about a year now.
A little over a year.
A little over a year. I've been practicing for a little over a year now. And so this question is going to be related to you actually being someone who's practicing. Right. So what do you think, since you've been practicing for over a year, what has been the most valuable lesson you've learned to date about the practice of law? Whether it's from the practice of law that you want to continue to do in your life or like that you've been doing. Because May has been doing civil rights work specifically. So
the most valuable lesson, I think the most valuable lesson has really been to keep the people first. Like, keep the client first. I think that it is sometimes in civil rights work, it can be easy to like get focused on like the bigger picture and like thinking about the impact that this is going to make past like this case. And my work and my job has been the leaders are like on the teams that I've worked on have been very client focused people. And they have been like, yes, this is going to be good for the general like civil rights bar, but they also have thought about the impact this is going to have on the people that we're representing directly and like whose life this can actually change. You know what I mean? And what is the best result and outcome for our client? And so, yeah, I think that's probably like the most valuable lesson. And also, I guess a little added caveat would be the red lines are your friends. Like, as a first year attorney, you don't know shit. You know what I mean? Like, you think you know shit because you got your law degree and your license. And
you got your degree.
And you know every damn thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. But you don't know nothing. And I think just being really comfortable with not knowing anything, like, yes, I understand. You know how to apply the law. You don't know how to be an attorney, though. You know what I mean? And I think leaning into that and leaning into asking questions when I have them and learning from the critiques I get and being very thoughtful about the responses and the replies to like feedback has been super, super helpful for me. And just also being a team player, like being amenable to learning, I think it's been a super valuable lesson.
That's good. That's a good answer. Because that's very important. I feel like when I was in law school, you start to realize that a lot of people want to be lawyers to like help people. A lot of people want to be lawyers to be lawyers. You know. So it's like, it's good to know that, especially when you think about public interest. Like, public interest, the people can't pay. The people is really there because they need help. And so I think it's very important that, especially with you doing civil rights work, that like that's the main goal, is like keep the people first. I think lawyers are customer service provider. Like, people reach out to you because they need assistance. They literally just need your help. Like, you went to school, you got your expertise, help, you know?
Help me, please.
Like, help. Listen, help.
Yeah.
And so the fact that like keeping the people first is the main goal, or like at least the most valuable thing you've learned, that's good because it's only going to grow. Good answer.
Absolutely. And I'm going to flip one back at you. Let's see. Do you have any regrets about how you did law school? I.e. any classes you took or skipped, like doing journal or law review, maybe not competing in certain programs or doing SBA? Do you have any regrets about anything? And if so, why?
I have regrets about not getting involved in like the specific trial extracurriculars, like moot court, or like my school had like intensive trial practice or a trial practice class where like actual trial attorneys come and teach you, or even classes that are like mediation, negotiation. Like, I do regret not getting involved in those because I think they're just good skills to have. Because eventually, like, it's very true that a very small percentage of lawyers or attorneys are going to go to trial, but it's never a bad skill to have. Like, it's very important to be able to articulate your point in a very timely manner, very succinct. And I did like appellate advocacy, which is essentially you're given a moot Supreme Court case and you argue it and you work on it for a semester. And that was really cool. I really liked it, but I liked it for the writing part. So I wish I would have focused, maybe not focused less on the writing part, but I wish I would have given both writing and speaking equal opportunities. In terms of everything else I did, I don't regret it. I just wish I would have been more strict in my boundaries, because I told myself when I got to law school that I was just going to be a law student. I was like an overachiever in undergrad. And so I was like, okay, when I get to law school, this is the overachieving. Like getting to law school was the hard part. But then when I got like my second year, I got a little itch. It's like, okay, why don't I just become president of BOSA? And also, why don't I join law review? And also, why don't I? And I was like, okay, girl. Because now you're doing a lot. You're doing too much. But I enjoyed it. I just wish I would have became more strict in my boundaries, to kind of just give myself time to fully adjust to things. But I don't regret it. I just, But I would do it all over again also. So that's why it's kind of like, I don't know, I would do exactly everything I did. And also, since I was getting my master's, I wish I would have became just more involved in like actually putting forth restorative practices in my lawyering, because I didn't really focus on that until my third year. So
Yeah, also that reminds me we got to talk a bit about that experience too and dual degree programs, because I think a lot of students are interested, and no one I know, I would have got my master's in law school too. It would have taken the same amount of time.
literally.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna answer that question too. I have similar regrets. I think my regrets are more so stemmed in just not like I didn't do mock trial and moot court and things like that past the first year. Also didn't do clinic. I think that's my biggest regret is not
Oh, I
doing
loved
clinic.
clinic.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
had like a Cap Rock clinic, which was like basically a public defender's clinic in Lubbock, and they just went around and doing public defense work for the counties, the rural counties in the area, like Lubbock, and I think they did work in like
What's up?
Abilene maybe and stuff like that. And it was really Black and minority client facing, because of course you know how our criminal penal system works. But that's my most substantive regret. I think too, it just really gives you a taste. I think it would have built my confidence as a litigator before becoming into practice, and I think it would have gave me a little bit more comfort, like coming into work and just knowing like, okay, I do have some legal skills. I've worked under a lawyer before, maybe even have taken a tried a case before, you know what I mean, in clinic. And I think even if it would have been like an ADR clinic or something like that, I think just having
Yeah.
a little bit more experience, like gratefully now I do feel better, but I still haven't, like I haven't went to court, as I'm a first year attorney and have never been to court before. I've written lots of briefs, written lots of policy memos and stuff like that, but I haven't been to court. And so I do think that clinic would have given me that type of experience. And that's the one thing that I think I regret from law school.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I mean, I only did clinic one semester. I did clinic my very last semester of law school, and it was an immigration clinic, which was really cool because I unfortunately, like a lot of people don't know about the immigration system, and also like we kind of have the privilege of not knowing because we are citizens. But it's really wild to think about how the intersection between like criminalization, immigration, crimmigration, it's so present, and especially same for me in Vermont. A lot of my clients were like Black and minority facing. I had a lot of Black clients, and so it was just interesting to think about how, I don't know, even where I feel like is like the middle of nowhere, Vermont, that immigration removal defense, we were the largest one in the state, which is really great. So like seeing the actual nitty gritty of like people getting deported and like arguing on their behalf to not get deported and what that looks like, it was interesting because it made me realize a lot of the different things. Same for you, how you said like working under an attorney and getting that confidence, while also to me expanded my view of like what civil rights law is. Because when you think of civil rights law, especially I feel like with our experience at PV and also being a Black person, you think it to be
Voting
very
rights. Yeah.
very, it's always like
Yeah.
no rights. And that's very true. But it's interesting to think about how like when I was doing that, it affected people's housing and like even their access to social services, like
And
their children
water,
going to
everything.
school, water, like stuff that you land right, like stuff that you don't actually think about, but that when you realize it and someone's telling you, like literally living it, you're like, okay,
Yeah.
how can I help? Like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, people
Yeah.
like they gotta stop doing this to you. But I loved clinic. Like it was really cool. But I wish I would have done it more. So I definitely get that.
Yeah. I'll do the last question for we can do it for both of us, and I'll flip it to you first.
Okay.
We'll do the pre-law. What do you think is the most important question to answer as a Black pre-law student before applying and seriously considering law school?
Hmm. Do you really want to do it?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you really want to do it? Like, not in a
Not in a
facetious
shady
way,
way,
but
not in a nasty
yeah,
way.
but like, do
Yeah.
you really want to do it?
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to, especially, I don't know, a lot of people have that a foundation of political science, especially when you're learning about, you just got to college and you're like, okay, everything sucks. Like, and it's all against me. You feel very like, I got to do it. If not, you do the whole, if not now, when? If not me, who? You do
Who?
the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do the whole thing. And then it's like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start to realize how systemically, like, okay, oh, okay. Like even the institution that I was like, even the school that we went to, you start to realize like, oh, okay, built on top of a plantation that enslaved people. Oh, okay. And we're in the Texas Constitution because we were like one of the only institutions of first class. Oh, okay. This school only exists because we weren't allowed in A&M. Oh, okay. Like we don't have a law school here because you start to really think about those things and you're like, okay. And that's why I said earlier, some people want to go to law school and they want to go to law school to help people. And some people want to go to law school to be lawyers. And I don't think that makes anyone a better or a less person. You know, like we live in a very capitalist society. So money is money. Like people need money and that's fair. But do you really want to do it? Do you want to think about the disappointments if it doesn't happen the way it happens? If you apply the first time and you don't get in anywhere, if you apply and you don't go somewhere you want to go, if you don't get the money you want, if you get to law school and it's not what you thought it was, if you're not in a aesthetic place, if you're not in a place that has a big program for what you want to do, if you graduate and you don't have a job, if you graduate and you don't pass the bar, like do you really want to do it? Because unfortunately, like especially once you get to law school, I think something happens to your psyche. Like you start to look around. To me, it felt like a social experiment. It felt like everyone in law school was just like me, like a overachieving, possibly like
It's a whole bunch of smart people and
it gets to a point where you start to realize, okay,
yeah.
you're really not as smart as you think. And not so much like that you aren't, but that like you look around and you're like, okay, this is all, it's a mix of both intelligence and a lack of humility. And so
And
it's like
privilege.
when you get and then you start to realize like, okay, some people have been having lawyers in their family for like generations. And then when you think about it too hard, it's like, okay, you have lawyers. Okay.
Right.
Your granddaddy and your great grand.
And
Okay.
your mama's a federal judge. Like
Okay. Okay. You start to think too hard about it and it's like, oh, we're not even like we don't even see the world different. Like we don't even see it the same. Like you think I'm genuinely here because what? Like you don't even think about it. Like you don't even think about the fact that I am one and however many people that I probably am this or that. I mean, like you don't think about that. And so I don't know. It's like dealing with the realities and like the realistic disappointments of like, okay, let's say things do go well. And then like you wake up 5 years later after you're barred, after you're practicing, and you're like, okay, this isn't what I thought it is going to be. Are you prepared for that? Are you prepared to pivot? Are you prepared to start in a career or in a field of law that you really don't want to stay in? Are you prepared to have your interest change in law school? Like, I think people have to ask themselves that question because unfortunately, law school is a very expensive investment. It costs a lot to apply. It costs a lot to stay. It costs a lot to graduate. It costs a lot to practice. You have to even like apply to bar association. They need them dues. So it's like, do you want to do it? And if you want to do it, then like all of that seems to be something that comes with, you know, it's like, okay, well, that's fine. You kind of rationalize the expenses and the time and the disappointments. But if that's not something that you want to do, then you may need to consider
another
if
profession.
the risk is worth it.
Yeah.
And if it's not, then it's okay. You know, like that's what you choose to do. But I think it's important to know that about yourself before you embark on something that, to me, like after going to law school, I think totally differently, and not in a negative way, but like law school is very stringent. It doesn't really allow for a lot of coloring outside the line. So I've learned that like even after graduating, I write differently,
Mm-hmm.
I think differently. Lawyers are very
Very objective.
binary.
You try to be
Oh my
objective about
gosh, I
everything.
hate it. I don't
Yeah.
feel like a real person sometimes. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's the point though, because if you think too hard, or if you give a bit too much personality, or you subjectify any little thing, then it's like, okay, well,
Yeah.
we need a decision. We need it now,
Right.
and you have to think about like, is it worth ultimately becoming a different version of myself
Mm-hmm.
if I really don't want this, if it's not about the money and it's not about the fulfillment, if I just want to do it because I want to do it, then if that's the case, like by all means, but it's a risk. So that's my answer. Like, do you really want to do it?
Yeah. I think my answer is similar. I think the better question for me is why. Like that's a question, why?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think it kind of ties into what you're saying too, though. But it's like, why do you want to?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you want to go to law school? And I think you have to be very,
Mm-hmm.
very clear about it because,
Mm-hmm.
like what you were saying, this profession. It's. I think the synopsis of what you were saying is that two things. One, this is a profession you have to choose every day. You are choosing a profession that does not often choose you. They don't want black people in the profession. To be
Yeah.
candid, you know what I mean. If they desire for a lot of us to be here, we would have more than 5% in the profession since we've been
No.
eligible to practice this profession for damn near 100 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In a real sense, we'll say post Brown, so post 85 years, and it has not increased over 65. Over 5%. We haven't gotten more than that. So you have to be okay with choosing this profession on a regular basis. You know what I mean? And you have to know, you have to be very, very clear in law school, in the admissions process, in the bar prep process. As a practitioner, you have to be clear about why you're doing this. If you're in it for the money, you have to be clear about where that money going. What's the
And
purpose
how
of
much
this money?
money it
How
is.
much money is this?
Because if it's just for the money, don't go below.
Come on now. And is this
Don't
worth
lowball yourself.
is this
Yeah.
worth you doing whatever it is you have to do to get this money? Is this why sufficient for that? You know what I mean? If your why is you need to take care of your family, your people need you to support them, and you need to go make $225 to do that, that's a why. You know what I mean? And I'm not mad at your
I
why
ain't
about
mad
that.
at you.
You know what I
But
mean?
are they hiring?
Come
I'm not
on.
mad. I'm not mad.
and
But if that's I agree.
if your why is I know I want to be a civil rights lawyer because this has affected black people or Latinx people or Native American people for X amount of generations, and this is what I want to do, that's your why. Run with it. But nobody can answer that question for you, and nobody's gonna convince you to be a lawyer. Nobody. I promise you that. Nobody's gonna convince you to be a lawyer. So you have to be very, very clear about your why and why you're doing this, why you're showing up every day, because it is a profession that is grueling and it's hard to be here. So it's a profession that doesn't.
The answer can't be I just want to argue. You could do that.
Come on now.
The answer just can't be I want to go to court. Become the client. It's like there has to be like, what do you want?
Become the client is crazy.
Listen, you want to go to court? Okay.
All right.
You didn't say what you want to wear.
You actually can go to
You
you can go sit in the courtroom right now. You ain't gotta have no case.
They'll let you in. They'll let you in.
Well, I think that's all we got for the first episode. We hope that y'all enjoyed it, man. We really, 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 really want this to be a space that is providing access to information and knowledge that you need to get where you want to go. Like we said earlier, send us questions. Hit us personally on our personal accounts. I'm at Maydrian _ on everything. I think TikTok and Instagram. I'm on Threads occasionally, not for real. But Substack as well. So hit me on those places. And email the Raising the 5% email. Maia, you want to drop your socials as well?
Yeah, I'm _ Maia Young, MAIA. It's very important. Young. Everywhere. I also am kind of on Threads. I don't really use it though. It's interesting to me. I'm also on Substack. Also don't really use it. Very interesting to me. I'm very, I keep it simple. The Instagram, maybe the Twit, maybe. It's a little different.
Yeah, Twitter.
It's a little different.
Twitter's different these days. And Threads is getting a little scary. Like,
I know.
Threads is kind of like
just bring that
blue.
bird
It's
back.
like blue Twitter now. I'm like, y'all.
It's very everything is getting a little spooky.
A little spooky ooky. You know what I mean?
It's a little spooky ooky. So
it's a lot of
just find me on Instagram.
Yeah.
I think
Instagram and TikTok are your best bets for me.
Yeah.
So Yeah.
But we're very open, like May said. Like, we really do want this to be a platform where people feel like they're getting the information that they want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's something that you don't think like anyone wants to know, you want to know it. So if we can help you and we know the answer, let us know. And also, because we want this to be something that's across, like May said, the three P's, the pre-law, the pursuing, and the practice, we're not opposed to anyone having any guest suggestions, or when we get those guest suggestions, like what you want to hear, even though that's not where you are. Fortunately, you will be if you're in law school or you're planning to go to law school. And so we are open to it all, especially with us both being first generation lawyers. Like, there was literally not a bad question
There's
to ask.
nothing's
Perhaps
off limits.
nothing's off limits because maybe we haven't answered it ourselves
Mm.
and y'all have encouraged us to do that, or someone else who will come after you or who has come before you hasn't asked that question they want to know. So
Yep. So just let us know
we're open.
here. And we'll catch y'all next time. We'll see y'all real soon. We're gonna be better about getting stuff out with a regular basis. And so this is episode 1, season 1, and we'll see y'all next time. Love and light. Peace.